Top 5 New York Legends. Every city has its own tales, folklore and legends, and New York is no exception. Once current urban legends were jokes or just fiction, but over the years they have evolved into mysticism and stories and have prompted many to investigate their origins and authenticity. Here are 5 of New York's best urban legends. Number 5. Alligators in the sewers. Because of New York City's vast, seemingly endless sewer system, people naturally assume that hideous mutants lurk there, hinting at alligators. There are various theories as to why people believe alligators ended up in the sewers, adapted to their new environment, and potentially formed huge colonies. The story that popularized this legend is linked to a 1935 New York Times article in which an alleged 8-foot alligator was found in a manhole on East 123rd Street after being either flushed down the toilet or thrown under sewer grates as a child. But don't worry, although there have been a few real encounters with alligators in and out of the city, it has not been scientifically proven that entire colonies of them can exist under the Big Apple. Empire State Building, a 102-story skyscraper located in New York on Manhattan Island, on Fifth Avenue between West 33rd and 34th Streets. It is an office building. From 1931 to 1970, before the opening of the North Tower of the World Trade Center, it was the tallest building in the world. There is a legend that if you drop a penny from the top of the Empire State Building and the coin hits a pedestrian on the street, it will be enough to kill him due to the speed the coin will achieve in its 1250-foot fall. Well, this unfortunate pedestrian can rejoice. Everyone who has studied physics knows that this is impossible. 1 gram, that's how much a penny weighs, is not enough to gain enough speed or energy to kill anyone. And it does not matter from what height this coin is thrown. Cropsey Killer in Staten Island. The legend of Cropsey is a cautionary tale that originated in Staten Island. Cropsey is a mythical child abductor, allegedly a mentally ill escapee from Willowbrook State School. They were used to frighten children when they were told to sleep at night, never go far, and never talk to strangers. Even though Cropsey didn't really exist, in the 1970s, Andre Rand became a Staten Island nightmare. An actual former Willowbrook employee was convicted of kidnapping and is suspected of killing numerous children in Staten Island. Today, the legend lives on and brave people still visit the old lands of Willowbrook to face the ghosts. As for Rand, he will become eligible for parole in 2037. Number 2. Super Rats after Hurricane Sandy. Another legend of the 21st century. Hurricane Sandy caused billions of dollars in damage to New York City. Its effects are still being felt by the inhabitants. One of them told how he heard sounds coming from behind the wall. He scratched and ran. Mark, as he called himself, told how one day, entering the kitchen, he saw a rat the size of a small cat crawling along the grocery shelves. He set traps that proved ineffective. The guy could not understand how the rats got to the 5th floor of the house where he lived. Mark then read in the rat reports of their migration inland away from the coast from flooded subway tunnels after Hurricane Sandy. There was also a theory that the weaker rats were exterminated, and the surviving rodents raised a new generation of stronger and more tenacious super rats. With so many creepy legends, it's only fair to tell one comic one. George Herman, Baby Ruth Jr., was an American professional baseball player whose Major League Baseball career spanned 22 seasons, from 1914 to 1935. He achieved his greatest fame as a battering outfielder for the Yankees. Ruth is considered one of the greatest sports heroes in American culture and is considered by many to be the greatest baseball player of all time. Babe Ruth helped the Yankees win 7 World Series championships. Rumor has it that the Yankees opted for their signature pinstripe uniform to actually make Ruth's relatively bulky and fat frame look slimmer. However, this is not true. Ruth may have inspired the team in many ways, but not in terms of uniforms. In fact, he was only 17 years old when the Yankees started wearing pinstripe uniforms. I want to add 2 more legends as a bonus. Water babies. This legend is told by most of the natives of America. These strange, chilling events took place many centuries ago in what is now the Massacre Rocks Nature Reserve. One day, a severe famine came to these places where ancient tribes lived, and mothers, in order not to see how their babies die of starvation and painful death, in complete desperation began to drown them in the river. Today, according to local residents, if you sit for a while on the banks of the river, located in the natural park, you can hear baby Hell Gate Bridge. In the state of Alabama, there is a bridge that looks creepy looking, which bears an equally frightening name, Hell's Gate. In the 1950s, a car fell off this bridge into the river. There were a guy and a girl in it. The young people died on the spot. Since then, the locals have avoided this place. There are two versions of the urban legend about the bridge and the accident. The first says that if you drive your car, stop and turn off the headlights, you can see dead young people in your cabin. According to another version of the legend, if you drive a car to the middle of the bridge, stop and turn back, a portal to hell will open up to your eyes. The authorities, who discovered accidental cases with endless legends, in order to protect against any curious from irreparable mistakes, decided to close the passage on this bridge. To date, travel by compulsory is strictly prohibited.